Hey everybody, Eric Hayden here. After that quick intro, I know I've done a video on this before, but I can't say it enough about getting rid of the leaf litter in your garden. Had some comments before about staying on top of black spot. I do grow hybrid tea roses, so they are more susceptible to black spot, but you get really nice blooms in the garden. So I've put up with spraying. I also spray occasionally the ground, but as somebody mentioned, I don't want to kill any of the good bacteria in the ground. So usually I just try to stay on top of the spraying. But this is a realistic YouTube channel. Life happens, so you don't always spray as often as you should. Again, I'm growing hybrid tea roses, gorgeous folklore, an orange rose right there. This is why I'm growing it. But you will have to deal with some disease, especially when you're not frequent with spraying. This year, when I was spraying every 1 to 2 weeks, not a spit of black spot. I took 6 weeks off. We were dry. I got lazy. I didn't see black spot. But once we started to see some rain and increase in humidity, it snuck up on me. So we have a lot of leaf litter in the garden. So in addition to your regular spraying, you can see my contact fungicide spray on the rose now. But it really behooves you to get the leaf litter out of the garden. Before, my kids kind of helped me and I would hand pick it, but this is the reason why you get it out of the garden. Look at those black spot spores. I have done it before. I did a past video where the ground was a little wet. Today I did it when it was drier, so the leaves came out a little easier. You do lose a little bit of mulch, but even if you rake, you lose a tiny bit. And it doesn't get every single leaf out of the garden, but with the rainy period coming, I wanted to get the majority of the leaves out. So I'm going to go ahead and rake all this up. I usually go per bed, just blow out what I can. Again, if it gets 85% of the leaf litter out, then that's good. I do like to admire the blooms as I'm working hard. This is Dolly Parton, very fragrant rose. Another fragrant rose is Mr. Lincoln there. But again, 85% of the leaves are out of the garden now. They're all in between the beds on the walking paths. I will go ahead and rake those up and be done with it. So quick video. Try to get that leaf litter out of your garden, especially if you've had some issues with black spot. I showed you what's lurking on the ground itself are spores, and that'll just be an uphill battle unless you get rid of those. I appreciate somebody had commented on that before. This is Let Freedom Ring, just a gorgeous red rose, and you can see with the spraying program, my new leaves are looking dapper. They're looking real good. So the future black spot is hopefully gone if I stick up with the spray program. Mentioned this before. On the left is Sport of Let Freedom Ring. It's Zach Noble's. It's an orange rose. Really nice looking rose. It does not do it justice on this camera, but you can contrast it on the left with the original, which is Let Freedom on the right. Let Freedom Ring, by the way, which is over 8 feet now. So I'm going to get on this. Last step is just to rake up the leaf debris. And again, if you're just joining us, you're getting this out of the garden. Old spores, that will make it harder for the black spot to continue to spread throughout your garden. And you can see the new growth on this Randy Scott is looking really good. So that'll be good as we go into the fall. After we get this rain, or as we get this rain, I may put down a little fertilizer this week and give it the last fall prune. That's Veterans Honor right there. Last good fall prune as we head into the cooler days and nights. You'll start to get some really nice blooms here in the garden. So let me get back to raking this up before our rains. This is one kick in the butt for getting this done. It's going to be a real rainy period, so I don't want those spores multiplying in my garden in terms of black spot. We're all done here, and I got to wrap this up because I hear some thunder, so I got to head inside. Just wanted to show you again, we're not seeking perfection. We can see that there are still a couple leaves in the beds, but it's much better than it was. And I'm a big believer in working smarter, not harder. So if you saw from that last video, I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. I usually use the bagging feature on my lawnmower to pick up fall leaves, but I hadn't done it with the rose leaves. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but you can see the leaf litter in here. And again, the spores that we have eliminated, really, really good stuff. So it got the majority, I'd say 80-85% of the leaves up. That's better than not. Now we can have our rain, and I'm not as worried about the spores transferring. When we sneak into a little bit of drier weather tomorrow, I hope to prune the good blooms, give them to neighbors, and then go ahead and start pruning these back. Some of these roses that are a year or two old, I'll leave.